not a
See,
laugh.
Nick, that would have been the very moment for the Rance Allen run that I had clipped out for audio. Just right there, if she said that would have been the perfect
Oh my
opportunity
god.
for it
If you had it.
if I had
If
it.
you had it. Yeah,
I
next
didn't.
time.
I took it off the
Oh,
soundboard.
I
I
love
do
his
have some TD Jakes, but I'm not gonna play that one for you. Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Buggs. Man, it's good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you as well. You have the post-Thanksgiving, early Xmas sort of holiday glow.
I do. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We started, Christmas in my house like November 1st. So I've been I got the tree up, we got the decorations in the house, been listening to Christmas music. Like, I'm all in, man.
Have you ever seen my house at Christmas time, Nick?
Yes.
Over all these years?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So I have a 15-foot long and 4-foot tall Merry Christmas sign that sprawls across my yard with the deer lit up over here on the other side of the yard. And then the whole house, I now have these permanent lights you can get where they, those people that drive around your neighborhood and say, we'll install your lights. I have them and they're permanent. So now I celebrate every holiday. Every holiday has its own lights color. I even had lights on for Thanksgiving. And so my house is all lit up. And my buddy Ken came over one time and he walked in and Sally was like, my wife Sally was like, we're not huge on Christmas decorations. And then
After he
Ken
walked
said,
past.
your house begs to differ.
Yeah, right. And of course, Chris, I think it's wonderful that you did this, that you put that big sign that says Merry Christmas
Yeah.
and you have the reindeer. I think you're, the fact that you live in a Jewish neighborhood, that's perfect. Well done.
Here's a little fun fact for my Jewish brethren out there. They love Christmas.
Yeah,
and even atheists like Christmas because of what it offers in America, frankly. I've heard many people say it.
It's
the
the
spirit.
spirit. You can't not love it.
You
Spirit of the
can't.
season.
That's right. Speaking of spirit of the season, that was producer Papa Bear talking, joining us again, helping us and guiding us on this podcasting journey. Papa Bear, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
There he is, looking jolly as usual and sounding
That's
jolly
right.
as well. And we have our esteemed guest with us, Tia A. Smith, producer extraordinaire, director, consultant. She's done it all. You guys are going to hear about it. Tia, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. We have been looking forward to this for quite some time. And before we hop into our first segment, Story is King, I have some really short housekeeping. First things first, guys that are listening to this podcast on Apple and Spotify, remember to rate and review 5 stars, please. Also, if you're just listening or you're only listening, come find us on YouTube. We have an entire platform there. We can give you more resources. We have giveaways, swag, community posts, everything over there on YouTube. So find us on YouTube by searching for the Make It Podcast. We will come right up. We'll be the very first thing that shows up. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, and I got to get better at this, nigga, that's why I'm saying it right now as housekeeping, please subscribe and like.
That's right.
All those things, you may think it doesn't make a difference, but it really, really does. All those things help us grow. It helps us monetize and it helps us be more discoverable. And the show, frankly, is a lot of work. And so if you like the work that we're putting into this, show us a little love with the subscribe button, the like button, and share a video.
Engage with us.
And engage with us as well. We respond to 100% of that. Other piece of housekeeping is last week's episode with the one and only, the BAFTA award-winning Heir, Heir. How you like that pronunciation, PB?
Who's here?
Who's here? You like how I said it that time? I didn't forget. Shout out to Heir. We had, if you experienced a lag on some of the parts of that episode, we did too. So just want to let you know you weren't going crazy there, and we weren't actually interrupting each other that much. It just this one little spot in there where some of the sync stuff got off. So thanks for sticking with us and appreciate your understanding. Now, Tia, can we hop into Story is King?
Sure, we can. Actually, can I rebrand it for the night?
Yeah, why not?
Ooh,
Story is
story is
Queen. Yes.
Oh, Kate, just for today,
You have to
change
put the
it.
talk to
graphic up that
someone,
says "Story is Queen."
That's
Okay,
right. We're
Story
gonna
is
change it.
Queen. We're gonna
Yeah.
come
change it.
on.
We're gonna change
Whoever
it.
you need to speak to, you can speak to him for tonight.
That's it.
Mm.
That's it. Okay, so Tia A.
Yes.
Smith, what should this audience know you for, and what are you excited about? What are you working on now?
Wow. What they should know me for, I've been afforded to do a lot. Produced, just about everything except for news and sports.
Mhm,
I learned very early I'm not built for those genres, respectively, through internships, and, like I said, I respect it all and just definitely, uh, targeted more of entertainment and storytelling,
mhm,
in that manner, so you may know me from creating a lot of different shows at many networks. And now I've taken all of that and rebooted my production company, Talented Soul Productions, and also started another company, Air Bloom Entertainment, which really drills into storytelling. So I'm excited about it. And out of Air Bloom Entertainment, I have a new short film coming out. It's called The Heir, and it's going through the festival circuit right now. And it is wow, it is a passion project. They always say that you're supposed to write what you've lived and or heard, and it's definitely something that I lived. So I'm excited about it. It is about a young woman who is grieving her grandmother, and she has to decide what to do with a house and an estate that was left to her. She is the heir to that estate, and with that comes a lot of relatable extremely relatable, situations with family. The backdrop is also a neighborhood of gentrification. So what I wanted to do was let people have a bird's eye view of the conversations that African American families are having about what to do when left in a state.
mhm,
So many times it takes so much time to get into a specific neighborhood, create community, feel like it's yours, and then gentrification comes, and you are not necessarily as welcome in your own neighborhood.
mhm,
So there's questions of do you sell or do you stay in the neighborhood to have some kind of presence? So we deal with all of that, and that's something that I definitely lived with on both sides of my family. Um, I was a part of the conversations on what to do with an estate, and those were the questions. And I'm not trying to judge what people do. I just know that it's a conversation. And there's some times where if you stay, that's fine. And there's other times when you sell, you can further the legacy. I
mhm,
know people who have started businesses, who've gotten out of debt, who've fulfilled dreams that they've always wanted to. But I know that while it is a very, nuanced conversation because I drill in on African American families, I know that it's very universal. I shared it with one of my investors, who is a Jewish brother, and he was like, "Listen, my bubby had everything tied up,
mhm,
yet the family crazy just came out." So again, there's the complexities of, listen, we need to be talking about this. You need to make sure that everything is set up. The scars that come out as people are gathering, their stake in the ground, like, no, I should be deciding this. I should be deciding this. All of that in 19 minutes happens in this short film. And it's something that I lived through. The main character is basically a smash up of my mother and I.
okay,
And I'm trying to tell you that the decisions and the backbiting, and there's joy in it too. There's definite joy, but the things that are quiet, that are also heavy, and the disjointedness of what that can do to a family easily put 5 years on our lives.
mm,
So I really wanted to resonate with people to say, hey, you're not alone. This is something that potentially all of us have to deal with. But let's get our footing. Let's talk about some of these things. Let's, get our affairs in order. Let's make sure that we're on the same page as far as what we need to do with this estate. and I'm really excited about it. We
It
already have
sounds incredible.
a lot of inquiries about, "Okay, this is a short film, what's up? Is this gonna be a feature, a series?" And, we're just getting the buzz started on it. So,
Yeah,
it's really excited, and my producer and I already have an outline to a feature, so some really nice things happening.
I love
Yeah,
that.
but it's also
That's
good to
super
show
exciting.
Chris like stories like this. There's a lot of drama to it, which is
Yeah,
entertaining, right? There's a lot of spirit and soul to it, which is it makes it really personal. But I think one of the greatest things about this, it's what you said earlier. It's relatable.
Mm,
There are so many people who are going through this and may not know of other people's stories. So
right.
sometimes when you just say, "Hey, I went through this too," that provides a sense of comfort
yeah.
to folks going through it themselves.
And I just love, again, how it strides culture, race, age, gender. I mean, I've spoken to so many people, again, when we were campaigning for money or, looking for sponsors, and actually, all but one head of my department had gone through it, period,
Mm.
Yeah.
okay, and their family, as far as, "This is the reason why my aunts aren't speaking to this day." Because you
Wow.
have these rifts in families, you know what I mean? And then another person, one of my investors was like, "Listen, I'm dealing with this right now with some land in South Carolina,"
Mm,
trying to get the family on board. But again, I want this to be a reflective mirror of what not to do, what to do. Um, I can't give away too much.
You're right.
well,
Hey, stop there, stop there.
Nope,
Yep.
nope,
we'll
don't
leave
have
something
it.
for the audience to dig into,
That's
but
right.
Yes, yes, yes,
I do
yes.
want to make some clarifications for the audience. So, Air Bloom and the Air are spelled Heir.
Correct, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I just wanna make sure the audience knows if you're gonna search for this, do not spell it AIR.
right, it's not
You
the
will not
Nike
find
move.
it, or you will find something else. Second, so I'm gleaning from what you said that this isn't shot, but is any of it shot? Have you
Yes.
done Okay.
No, it
Mhm.
is shot.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this is shot, this is out, this is something that can be watched.
yeah, well, it's going through the festival circuit right now.
Okay.
So, we'll definitely let you know of all the things that we're gonna be scooping and winning up and
Mhm.
where we're gonna be screening. And again, I'm just really excited because there has been, inquiries already from, a few places, I'll say, to see what we wanna do with it and how we want to thicken this up and potentially make it a series and or feature. So,
Got it.
I
Are
mean,
you
I'm
swinging
blown
for the
away.
fences on the festival run? Or
Oh, yes.
are you targeting it more to
Oh, we're
places that
swinging for the
might like it?
fences. If you
Okay.
know anything about me,
So
I
you're
mean,
going Cannes, you're going TIFF, you're
yeah,
going South
yes,
by, you're doing all
all
the
of them,
okay.
all of them. I have a lot of friends who were festival consultants, and in true producer form,
Mhm.
you utilize your resources, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And, I'm blessed because they just sat with me and was like, "Listen, you need to tier this out." So, yes, to your question, we're doing tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I don't even like to subjugate them like that. To me,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really because all of
Everybody
it's
does it though, it's
wonderful.
okay.
Yeah, everybody's wonderful. But, it's truly to have this kinda system so it's not stacking against each other, and you're
Mm,
also respecting some of these world premieres and exclusive things that have to happen in the festival circuit.
yeah.
So that's the reason why we're doing it, but I'm just
Make
excited.
sure you submit to Nashville. Nashville
Yes,
Film Festival, oldest
definitely,
festival in the country, I think,
definitely.
almost. I think it is, like, 1969 is when it started, so, um, if you submit it, let me know. Just let
Alright.
me know. I will be I'll make everyone aware of it, I'll be aware of it,
Thank
and
you.
excited to see what you do with it, and I think Nick's spot on, super relatable. um, I immediately thought about situations in my own life, and look, I highly recommend anybody listening out there, if you have anything that you wanna pass on to someone smoothly, yes, getting a will is the first step, but even a will probably isn't enough. You probably need to do a trust. And one strategy, Nick, that I've used in my life is I just tell my kids what they're getting in advance before I die so that they know what my intention was.
Uh-huh.
Right. And then that's
No,
reflected, in the
Chris,
trust. And I don't want to
you're not doing enough. I tattoo it on my kids' backs. So
Oh,
don't worry, Tia. They're washable tattoos. He has a bunch of them and he just keeps tattooing them all
Yeah.
over and over
Over and
again.
over again.
oh my goodness, poor kids.
Yeah, exactly. Poor kids, that's right, Nick.
I didn't mean that literally, 'cause Nick is rolling in the big bucks.
That's right, that's right.
I spent it all on Legos, so,
Mm,
they're gonna get what they can get.
yeah, you see how many Legos has,
Collector's
he's
items.
rolling into over there.
That's
The,
right.
congratulations to your wealth, Nick. And Tia, describe your household in 3 words growing up.
Oh, wow, growing up. Loving,
Mhm.
soulful, safe.
Yeah.
And is this because of, your super talented mother, Gail, perhaps,
Oh,
making this,
yes.
such a
Yes,
soulful place?
indeed. Soulful because, yeah, because of my mother, my family, everyone was just so joyous.
Hmm,
There from the engagement, how we spoke to each other, um, the parameters that, kids had,
mhm,
when dealing with
Mhm.
adults. Just very spirited to the parties, to the cookouts, to the pool parties, all the things that were going on in the neighborhood of Silver Spring, Maryland.
yeah.
And I just love that it was so diverse. Our neighborhood had a little bit of everything. It wasn't enough for me to say, "Oh, they're Latino." Like, I knew that you were from Venezuela. I knew that he was Ecuadorian, you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
we got Pakistan over there and China, it was just beautiful. So there was a lot of soul in our family and just spiritedness and laughs, and, it was just a beautiful time and continues to be a beautiful time. I know that even though a lot of my great aunts and uncles are gone now, and we're the adults, right?
Yeah.
We still carry that through, our smaller family. Those still the pillars of the soulfulness, and of course, there was singing and there was music. My mother has always been a singer from gospel to R&B. She was on the soundtrack back in the day. I remember
Mhm.
the bell bottoms and the afros. You know what I mean? And literally, her singing while she was cooking and, I'm no slouch either. I'm a great singer, but I tend to like to blend
Mhm.
and vocal arrange. I don't need to be out front.
Mm.
But, yeah, yeah,
That
just a
and you're right,
beautiful.
it's surreal. It's maybe the best word I can think of. Maybe there's better words, Nick, PB, to watch the young people in your family grow up, and you watch this happen, at holiday season time, like now, like
Oh, yes.
Christmas, Thanksgiving. You're seeing people who were children, babies, and now they're raising babies, and you're like, "What? When did
What is
this happen? When did
Yeah,
this" and just sort of watching everybody grow. It's a really it's not it could be bittersweet, but it's not bitter. It's
no.
definitely at worst bittersweet. It's actually, like you said, it's a soulful, loving feeling that you can't quite put into words to sort of watch your whole family grow up around you. And the
Yes.
reason I brought up your mom is because I wonder if this was an idea you had right away or you had to build up into it. And here's what the idea is. When did you know you wanted to pursue a career in film and TV? Was that like a something you kind of had to do because that was like the family's business, or did you
No.
build into that?
No, it wasn't the family's business. I mean, definitely, my father, was, a Washington, D.C. school teacher.
Hmm.
Mom, yeah, for many years, and also, one of the first Black quarterbacks in Maryland, so he had a big athletic career also with the Pirates. And
Oh,
then mom, definitely she worked for the government, for the IRS.
ooh,
Hold your faces.
Mhm.
She was a part of the camp that basically, tried to make everything that we're dealing with right now as far as formats and things like that a lot easier,
mhm,
as an analyst, and did very well for that, and like I said, was always a singer, and that's why I was just am continually proud of her, but at 73, she's like, "I wanna make an album. I've never made an album," and we did that, and it was a wonderful,
that's
collage
amazing.
of gospel and R&B and, also, show tunes and Negro spirituals too. So that kind of moxie is where I come from. It doesn't matter,
What's
how
the
young,
album's title, Tia?
old you are. It's called I'm Free.
I'm
And she
Free.
wrote
Okay.
some songs, you
Okay.
know, at the age of 73. So, that's how I'm built. I'm built that your story travels many generations and your talent does also. And for me in television and film, I was coming up in the age of Oprah. And
Mm,
I did not
yeah.
see a lot of people that looked like me, so the phenomenon that she is what I was attracted to,
Mm.
and a lot of my efforts were to be on camera at first, and I was okay
At
with
first.
that.
Okay.
Yep.
At first. But, I went off to school actually, also Oprah and Maureen Bunyan, who was a
Mhm.
local newscaster here in DC, and I just loved how poised she was, and just seeing her, like I said, it wasn't an everyday occurrence, more so kind of like how it is now, somewhat.
Mhm.
So I just was enamored with that and also, loving movies, that just intrigued me. So, went to school, upstate New York, Ithaca College, and got accepted. We were number 2, at the time, got accepted to Syracuse, but it was just I didn't wanna feel like a number, put it that
Yeah,
way. It
yeah.
felt too
Okay.
big. And, shout out to Ithaca College who gave me money for it too. The
Yeah,
scholarship love was great, so
yep.
that's a part of it too. And I just immersed
Well, you
myself.
had to earn it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no
Yeah,
slouching here, no slouching.
yeah.
But, yeah, I just immersed myself in getting cameras every weekend, becoming one of the programmers on the radio station and, opening my world to world music, to jazz, to hip hop. I mean, I remember playing, Protect Your Neck,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
for the
Yeah.
first time, you know? I remember that and breaking people and having Nas
yeah,
when he was in town come through the studio.
yeah.
So, I was really just baked into television, radio, and film, and, those are the beginnings. I did the other thing of having an internship, and that really opened up some doors so that I can get that knowledge on and some of the relationships and resources that I have. So, it's all a part of my story.
I love
Yeah,
that,
well,
and
Chris,
and
I
I
just
love
had to I
Nas
had I
right
had to
now too,
tell
Nick, by
well,
the way.
Nazir,
Have you
young
have you
Nazir.
have you listened to any Nas? He's
Oh,
aging like fine wine, bro. Like,
Oh, yes.
he's doing
yeah, he's
uh,
constantly
his
doing great
his last 2
stuff, and
albums were great, underrated.
he's a storyteller, and I
Insane.
think he's underrated because he's doing real poetry, which,
Mhm.
of course, for me, Chris,
Yeah.
I'll say that current state of rap, you don't get real poetry anymore. You get the stuff that sells it's sex and everybody, all
Pareto's
my
law, Nick.
haters,
The
yeah, all
80% you
my
see is
haters,
is
blah,
all
blah, blah.
marketing and
Yeah,
20% is good, yeah. Or
yeah, and then that's what
20% has something to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and I will say that for those who haven't done it, you gotta check out the Nas and Damian Marley album.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't even know that that thing
Wait.
exists.
Uh-oh.
It is
Yeah.
No, it's great.
amazing.
Great album.
When
Yeah,
did that come
exactly.
out?
Years
That was
ago.
like yeah, I feel like that was like 10 years ago,
Yeah, at least a
and
Oh,
decade
it's
ago.
wow.
yeah, it's amazing. So, but yeah, he's awesome. But I did want to tell Tia because
Mhm.
she's talking about her upbringing and the
Mhm.
fact that she was in this place called Silver Spring, Maryland,
Right.
and it just so happens that I guess from birth all the way through, I think I was in 3rd grade, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Come
That's where I was.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what's
on.
up, Silver Spring, and it's what's funny is that I actually did grow up in a Jewish neighborhood. I was in the Kent Mill area,
Oh,
so, yeah, Mordechai
Mhm.
and Shmuel were
yeah.
my neighbors, so Esther,
Yeah.
so yeah, a little big shout out to them as well. But
Right.
yeah, I
Shout
know a
out to
little
your
bit
Jewish
about Silver
neighbors, Nick.
Spring. Oh
I
yeah.
love that because it rounds your world. It allows you to know that it's bigger than what you may see in front of you, and you get a chance to exchange and learn,
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Oh,
this
yeah,
area
and and
this area
and,
does that.
yeah, we were joking earlier because I had my blue vest on, and I was like, "Well, I'm rocking my Papa Smurf right now,"
Mhm.
and, I was one of the only kids in school was like,
For those
"Why they gotta
listening, Nick
make
is dressed
the
up like Papa
villain"
Smurf, but
yeah,
black.
yeah, yeah, "Why they gotta make the villain in Smurfs Jewish?" 'Cause and people are like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Well, Azrael, and you
Oh,
got Gargamel,
Yeah.
like, y'all
Gargamel.
didn't
Mhm.
realize what was going on here? Come on now," and the people were like, "What?" And, like, I got my Jewish friends back. Y'all tripping.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
right. You are 10 toes down, and you have the red hat
10.
on too, so you were Papa Smurf.
100%.
That's it. I like
Okay.
that.
Yep.
Now, did you know, Nick, according to 23andMe, that, I am Ashkenazi Jewish?
Oh, really? Was
Yeah,
that
just by a
in your
little
pinky toe?
percentage. Yep, in my
Where's
pinky toe
that?
only.
Just
Just
in
my
the
pinky
toenail.
toe. Just my
Yeah,
toenail
Toenail.
on my European side,
that's the left side.
the left side.
So the pinky toe
Mhm,
on the left side.
Not my creative side,
Okay.
not the right side.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
No,
right.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. No, that's true.
Oh.
it's, I love 23andMe. So when it first came out, now
Mm,
I know it's got financial troubles and a lot of things going on, and there's a few services out there like Ancestry, but this was something I said to you a long time ago, like almost 20 years ago, that I thought DNA mapping was going to end racism in time.
Mm,
And the reason why is because people will find out they are things they didn't know they were, and
mhm.
it's very hard to hate yourself.
Right.
And what I've learned about the internet is it's very easy to hate yourself. And so
Absolutely.
mm.
and so now I feel like
Real.
my prediction is not coming to fruition as fast enough because it turns out a lot of people actually do without
Chris,
realizing hate themselves. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
remember denial,
It's
okay,
it's a river.
is not
It's not
just
a river. Yeah.
in Egypt. Okay,
That's
very
right.
good.
It's
That's
not.
right. But, I think it'll be part of, like, your well check. So you go to the doctor, you see your primary care physician, they'll look at your DNA, say, "Hey, you have this sort of,
Mhm,
um, gene expression, you should look out for this. We're gonna guide your healthcare based on this." And then within that are some of your cultural, and DNA history and breakdown, and
mhm,
once you know who you are, how can you hate somebody that's exactly what you are? And this exists even in with white people. To me, like, um I mentioned Sally earlier, her whole life she's like, "Oh, I'm Italian, I'm Italian." Well, according to the DNA, you're just a little Italian. You're a
oh,
lot more British and Scottish than you knew, and that explains so much.
At least you look at his face.
whoa. You
Okay,
better watch it, buddy. Does she watch?
so but no. No.
I
Thank
knew it, I
thank
knew it.
thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. And
Oh, that's
Chris, did you
great.
say that that other service was called Ancestry.com? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he kinda slid right over that
Yeah, it's
ancestry.
Oh,
ancestry.com,
I was just making
but
sure.
but
Right.
there
I
is
heard
another
something different.
service here in the Appalachia.
Yeah.
Whole different set of customers, guys, and they're doing quite well. They're so
Oh,
Yeah,
profitable.
but you
goodness.
can't get it on the internet. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sell you a set of spoons when you sign up. You can play them or eat with them, whichever one.
That's
No,
right.
to our fans
Oh
in
my
Appalachia, I'm
goodness.
kidding. Take a joke. Take a joke. It's a good joke.
I
Okay,
kid,
Oh,
I kid.
now,
love
Tia,
it.
Mm.
this
Thinking that serious. He's like, "No."
listen, well, this could feel like a left turn. That's why I have to be
Yeah,
careful here
Okay,
yeah,
I'm ready.
compose.
because I know that you have had, your life has been like a river, speaking of mountains, that goes up a mountain, down a mountain. There's been calm moments and rushing
Mhm,
rapids, and it's still going. It's still a thing
mhm.
that you have to contend with. And I know you're a woman of faith. And I'm just curious, this industry, no other industry that me and Nick have ever been in or heard about or Papa Bear tells you no more. There is no industry that can, steal your happiness like this industry when you get rejection. And I'm just curious, when you've been in a dark place before in your career, how did you get out of it? And what was that dark place?
Wow. You're right. I mean, this particular field is unforgiving at times.
Mhm.
Um, and you have to have thick skin. You really do. I would say that, there were times when, I was living in New York, and I was freelancing a lot of different places, and you know the world of freelance.
Mhm.
You're there for a certain amount of time, and actually, I was permalance. Everyone makes up these terms, right? So permalance meaning that you are, about 3 to 6 months out, or
Yeah.
even 9 months sometimes, and, it was about that time to for my services to be over, and, I was out of work easily for about a good 5 to 6 months. And
Yeah.
it is only the grace of God that kept me through, because I had come up there on, behind the music was doing another, um, stint of it on the East Coast because, it's a
Mm.
LA production. It was an LA production. And, that's how actually how I moved to New York. They were like, "Kid, you're good. Come on up. We need you in 2 weeks." So I moved to New York and I did the proverbial. I literally stayed on a friend's couch in
Been there.
Brooklyn
Yep.
until I could kinda get my own place. Shout out to Reggie, and, just got things done, and I my first assignment was yet another hour of, Who Killed Biggie and Tupac.
Mm.
And
Mm.
and I was, getting all of my ducks in a row with the Crips and the Bloods and a couple other people that I'd made contact with to really try to dig into this story. And, they had let me go because the production was costing too much on the East Coast, and they decided to take it back to the West Coast. So out of that, I instantly called my mother. I was like, "Mom, what is going on? I don't appreciate this." I mean, we literally dropped off everything in my apartment. I'd finally found a place in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, in a brownstone, and it was 4 days after I signed the lease,
Wow.
and my uncles had just returned the U-Haul in Maryland that they let go the show, and I'm like, "Excuse me?" It's not supposed to happen like this. I called
Nope,
my
not to you.
pastor, and I was like, "Listen, what is going on? What is God doing? I don't appreciate this, and, something needs to happen really fast." So, he was like, "Listen, you are up there for a reason," and I knew that. This was just fear. It was fear.
Mm.
And he was like, "You're up there now, make it happen." And true to form, I went back into the office the next day at VH1, and they were like, "Oh, you're the girl that, we got up here, and now we canceled the show," and that was, like, the running joke, and I'm like, "Alright, I'm not laughing.
It's not
I
funny.
need to eat." Yeah, I mean, like, I'm up here. And it was just wonderful because out of that joke, um, they started hiring me for more and more projects, and I was afforded to do, more production from, shows with U2 to, um Hootie and the Blowfish to Shania Twain to Megadeth to I mean, and again, if you don't know me yet, but if you know me, I don't like to be put in a box, especially as a creative, right?
Mhm.
I love all of that stuff, and honestly, what we were talking about earlier, Nick, coming from this area, you're exposed to all kind of people, all kind of music, so it was right up my alley, and I was able to really sink my teeth into some shows that felt right for me and that I could expound upon too, and bring something to the table. But that was one of the low points, because there was a question of, "Why am I here? Am I really supposed to be here?" But, after I calmed down, I literally, reached out for wisdom, with my pastor and fell on my knees and got quiet and remembered who I was and whose I was and kept it moving.
I
And
love
then
that.
Beautiful.
it was nonstop,
Yep.
nonstop until it wasn't again. And then
Right,
you and
yeah.
then guess what? You lick your wounds and you do it again and you remember who you are and that this is bigger than you and that you're not the first and you won't be the last. So through it all, you literally pick yourself up, you bring your partners and your friends along the way, you make some good work, and you keep your eyes on the prize, period.
It's huge. I love that.
I love it.
And
Yep.
I love the lick your wounds part, and it's not
Yeah.
like this part about it
Mhm.
being, it's not all about you. Like, it happens to everybody. It reminds me of the trick Papa Bear taught me, uh, to just sort of squelch fear, which is just remember you're one of 8 billion people on this planet of millions of planets in a universe that's infinite, right? Like, what do you have to be afraid of?
Absolutely.
And so when it's some people take that and say, "Oh, well, way to make me feel insignificant." It's like, no, you missed the point. The point is you don't need to be afraid. You don't
Mhm.
need to have anxiety. You don't need to fear anything, because when you look at the universe in its totality, you realize it's almost farcical. It's almost comical to be afraid.
Mhm.
So just move forward with the thing you wanted to do, and just know that eventually, when you knock, you work, sort of universe knocks back and calls back. So, um,
Yeah, and
I
I
think
didn't
that's
want any
great.
regrets. I didn't want any regrets.
That's it.
Uh, yeah, period. You have to go for it.
I love that. It's fantastic, and this has been another wonderful, no, actually, wonderful first time story is queen.
That's
Mm,
right.
that's right. I love it.
Yes.
I want
Thank you, Tia, for dropping that
25%
off.
too, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you got
Papa
it.
Bear, get
Yep.
the Papa Bear. Get
Get the
the
checkbook.
That'll be big, trust me.
checkbook, Papa Bear. Get the checkbook ready for the commission. Nick,
25%.
Yeah.
Thank you.
can you lay some audience polls on the people,
Yeah.
sir?
We will step into some audience polls, and this one was definitely for Tia,
Mhm.
100%. Even
Mhm.
put Tia's face out there, let people know who she was. So
Yeah.
so here's the deal. So I have thoughts, which is why I put this poll out. Like I got ideas about what the answer would be.
Oh, I thought you
Mm.
were just gonna
I'll tell
stop right
you,
there and I have thoughts.
and then
Okay,
we
wait,
could
go
end the show.
ahead. End the show. I
Let's
thoughts.
stop it. So I have thoughts about this topic. So the poll is, which would you rather be? And you have two options. First option, a music producer. Second option, TV and film producer.
Mm.
So the results of this poll are 74% said music producer,
What?
26% said TV film producer. Now, here's the thing, we're
Mm.
polling our audience, right? We
Mhm.
make a show about film.
Right.
And here you go, 74% of our audience
Ah,
says music producer. Talk amongst yourselves.
I wonder why that is. I'm
I have
curious.
thoughts.
I'm curious why. I, I think, and this could be overly cynical, Tia. I think it's because there's a perception that it's easier
mhm.
and the money is the same or better.
I would
Hmm.
agree. That's the first thing that came to mind. I mean, and still, no one really knows all of the things that producers do.
That's
No.
So,
right.
I think if they did, they would definitely lean in that direction. I think there's a little bit more sexiness and gloss in the videos and the immediacy of music. I mean, I'm not discrediting music, believe me,
Mhm.
it's a universal language too,
Mhm.
that just equalizes everyone, and it's a beautiful contribution. However, what we do is just as strong, but I lean towards that too, that there's a little bit more of an immediacy and a little bit more shine and things like that that comes with it that's a quicker stimulation for people.
So here's I'm gonna share my
Yeah.
thought
What are you thinking, Nick?
and why I put this out there.
Mhm.
Mm,
Okay. So I believe that if we were to go out into the street and ask the question, name or who is your favorite music producer, people would answer like that. If you
Mhm.
said, now name your favorite TV film producer,
hmm.
what would they say?
Dick
And the
Wolf.
reason right, and the reason for this this difference
Ridley
is
Scott.
right, there you go.
Mm.
You got
Mhm.
names, y'all
Mm.
being filmed though, so you can't do that, y'all don't count. So here's the thing,
True.
I think the reason for this is because music producers are celebrities.
Yeah.
They're positioned as celebrities, and TV and film producers are not positioned as celebrities. So they want in my opinion, I could be
Good point.
wrong, but I think that's what they want. They want the celebrity that's associated with it.
That
That's
wasn't
my
always
thought.
the case, Nick. I think it's
I
a
was
really
getting ready
great
to
point.
say.
Yep.
That started with L.A. Reid, I would say. I'd
Mhm,
say L.A. Reid was the first, maybe Quincy Jones.
mhm.
One of those 2 were the first to but I don't think Quincy wanted to be a celebrity, he just became
Mhm.
one. Whereas
Right.
I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like with L.A. Reid and Babyface, they were out in front. You knew that was a Babyface song.
Man,
You
you
knew
talking
that was
about out in
L.A.
front.
Reid,
I
and
I
then
agree
that bled into Andre
too.
Harrell, and it bled into Puff Daddy, and it bled
There you
into
go.
Right.
Timberland, and
And
and it just
Missy
Yep,
got
and
bigger.
exactly.
Kanye and
And Miss
everything else. Yeah, I definitely would say Quincy too. I mean, come on, I'm an '80s baby, so it's like, for what he did with Off the Wall to I mean, he had a huge catalog before that, but to
Yeah,
I
your
mean, back
point of
on the block,
back on the
Yeah,
block,
Back
yep.
on the Block, Recognition, Thriller, all the
Mhm.
cues, juke joint, yep.
come on. So, he definitely was forward facing there and had his go.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
not
but I
just
think that's it.
in
I think
Black
it's
music either, not
yeah.
just in R&B or hip hop, Nick. I think, well,
Yeah.
you have Trent Reznor, obviously, in rock, that
Mhm.
kind of is a celebrity producer, but
Definitely.
you had, PB, what's the name of the guy who was famous for producing the Beatles? He invented the wall of sound. That was his
There's a
big
movie
thing.
about him, right?
Yeah. What's his name? Um,
Oh,
he was
PB will
famous.
find it.
He was a
Yeah.
celebrity.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes when people get the sense that the music the person making the music is more relevant to what you're hearing than the person performing it.
Mhm.
That's when the producer becomes really famous. And look, to me, if you look at the most successful a music producer can be, let's say financially, I don't think that rivals the money that the most successful EP or producer can get. But
Mhm.
that also speaks to the cost of the product, I think, as well. Another thing I would say too, just to put a cap on these thoughts, is I want to address the thing I said about it being easy. Yes,
Mm.
I do think producing music is easier. I actually think there are tools and workstations you can get on that will just make music for you, frankly. And then it's up to you to produce it. But because the bar is so low for making music, there's billions of people doing it. So what our audience may be missing in this poll is your chances of being a ultra successful music producer, I think, are far less than being a successful film and TV producer, because it's so much harder, having done both, being
Mm.
a musician and being a producer of film. Having done both, it is so much harder to produce a film than it is to produce a track
Well, and
or
that's I
an
think
album.
Tia. Well, I'm gonna throw it back to Tia because I think
Mhm.
that I'll jump on your comment and say there is probably a huge difference between producing a track and being a music producer. And to
Hmm.
your point, Chris, people might be conflating the two and thinking, "Yeah, I want the easy way. I want the celebrity because I can make a track." No, man, Timbaland's not just making
Oof.
tracks.
No.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
not
These
all.
producers are so much
That's what I'm
more
saying. Like,
than that. Yeah.
how many Pharrells are there? One.
Right. Yeah.
Fun.
What he does is amazing. It's uniquely him. It includes marketing, and it includes the whole picture. He's gonna win for producer of the year this year, Grammys, for the Clips album. He just is.
Yeah, and what that tells you, Chris, is that if you wanna be a great producer, that you have to be from the DMV. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny
I'm
because he's been on this his whole career. He's just
Yeah.
he stood out from the beginning, like, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
he was
Mhm.
different and a difference maker. And I'm just saying, when you take that against all the people who are trying to be him, I think that's a very, very vast pool
It
of
is.
people
I would
wanting
still
to stand out that
contend
way.
that, I mean, he is Pharrell, but and this speaks to how I like to create. Um, I love and appreciate our anchors, but there's something about discovering the next too. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much good stuff out there, and I'm also in the DC chapter of the Recording Academy. Shout out again, and to this actual, this environment of the incubation of how dope we are. I mean,
Mm.
there are people that haven't even been discovered yet that are getting to work and putting it in. So, like, yes, he is Pharrell, but there are some people that are making some incredible music. They have
Yeah.
just not been tapped into, or either their platform hasn't grown to, the recognition of a Pharrell.
Yep.
So,
Yep, you got it.
just thought I'd add that.
By the way, the guy we were thinking of, Wall of Sound, Phil Spector.
Ah, Phil Spector,
Phil
yes.
Spector, maybe the first, famous producer. Maybe before that was Stephen Foster, Beethoven. So, something like that. Anyway, Nick, thank you. This is a fantastic audience poll. Again, the audience surprises us with their answers. I've done that a few
Mhm.
times lately, where I have to wonder, is it contrarian for the sake of being contrarian, or there's something more to it? We'll keep our ears to the ground on that. But the thing about the poll is there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a,
Right.
No,
it's
it's
just
just
a,
the answer.
just the answer, and we can
And
we
we
can talk about it.
and what I love about it is, again, if we have thoughts, right, there's ways for us to see, does our audience align with our thinking?
Mhm.
Yep, 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 yep,
And
yep,
all we have to do is put the poll out, and we
yep.
find out.
There's the
Yeah,
data.
yeah,
That's
and
right.
it gives you a chance to reflect inward and say, um, why is it so hard for me to change my mind? Like it exposes where you're really dug in as well.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
Yeah, I'm good with
I
that.
love the audience polls. I love the audience polls. And why don't we take this opportunity to pay some bills, guys? What do you think?
I think we should.
We've been going
It's important.
strong,
Yeah,
right?
it's important.
Right. We've been running this marathon for a little bit. Let's
Yeah,
let's
let's do
let's
it.
take a little breather to pay some bills. All right, we'll be right back. In the entertainment industry, there's a catch 22 all beginning creatives must handle, including us when we began, Nick. And the question is the catch 22 is how do I get hired without experience? But how do I get experience without getting hired? Well, here's the deal. Columbia State Community College provides the experience, and they're sponsoring our show today. The Film Crew Technology program at Columbia State Community College on the Franklin, Tennessee campus provides the experience, training, and knowledge to step into the entertainment workforce, continue on in higher education, or ideally, both. The Film Crew Technology Certificate allows you to work in the industry while gaining your degree. Here's what the training includes: set safety and etiquette, pre production, production, post production, and delivery. That's almost the whole thing. So, from pre to post, Film Crew Technology trains below the line workers in the tools of their trade. From cinema cameras like the Arri Alexa 35, incredible camera, as you might know, to a loaded 3-ton grip truck, from sound recording to a pre and post production computer lab, the Film Crew Technology program delivers hands on experience.
Yeah, man. And as we know, every filmmaker starts somewhere. Your first script, your first shot,
Yep.
your first spark of, I can do this. And at Columbia State Community College, that spark becomes a career. There, you can get hands on training, real equipment, and professors who work in the industry, all in an environment built to help creators grow. From production fundamentals to digital storytelling, you'll learn by doing every single day. So, if you're ready to turn passion into practice and practice into a future, my friends, start your story at Columbia State Community College. And Columbia State Community College is accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. In addition, financial aid is available for those who qualify, including the Tennessee Promise and Tennessee Reconnect.
That's right. Enrollment begins each fall semester, but space is limited to 20 students each year. So don't wait. No, no, no. Apply now. For more information, you can reach out to our man, our guy, David Smith. He's the FCT program director. He's a madman. He wants to give you his phone number. He wants to give you his email address. He wants to give you his website. So here it is. His phone number, 615-790-4410. Again, 615-790-4410. Or you can email him at david.smith@columbiastate.edu. Again, david.smith@columbiastate.edu. Still on the fence? Well, don't be on the fence long. It's only 20 slots. But if you're still on the fence, you can go to www.columbiastate.edu/FCT.
As filmmakers, we chase stories across borders, researching locations, analyzing global cinema, collaborating with teams worldwide. But every click, every file transfer, and late night download needs protection. That's where Surfshark VPN comes in. Surfshark keeps your project secure with encrypted connections, protects your team when working on public Wi Fi, and opens access to region locked reference films from anywhere. Faster, safer, more open internet wherever production takes you. Now, when I was in Italy, I tried to stream the Chelsea game, but I got hit with that dreaded not available in your region screen. And everybody knows who travels how that feels. But there's a workaround. Of course, Surfshark VPN.
And for those who don't know what a VPN is, a VPN, Nick, is a virtual private network, which allows, for example, me to mask my real IP address and then even replace it with another IP address anywhere else in the world. I love the options Surfshark gives you with this. Using a VPN is like wearing pants. All the important stuff stays private and secure when you step your foot outside. A VPN covers your whole online activity. Once your device connects to the internet, all the information is encrypted just the way you want it. That way, your online activity is hidden from all the snoopers and trackers out there. Ever wonder, by the way, how much of your personal information is floating around online? Every click, every swipe, every doom scroll into whatever you just happen to be into at the moment. All of it can be logged, tracked, and worse, sold. With Surfshark, all that data stays in your hands. Like when I'm connected to Surfshark, it encrypts everything I do online. It's like finally being able to shut the blinds on my digital life. I get total privacy, I get total control. And honestly, it's a relief knowing I can browse freely without constantly worrying who's watching.
I love that metaphor. Hiding your tasty bits with the pants. I love it.
Mhm.
Well, Surfshark has servers in over 100 countries, meaning that I can now access content from almost any country in the world. This is so useful when I'm traveling because I don't have to miss any of my Chelsea games.
Mm.
Now, I just open the app, switch my location to the US, and it's like I've teleported home. No more missing out on the content I love just because of where I happen to be. So, with that in mind, we also recommend Surfshark Antivirus.
Mm.
We tend to think of viruses as a laptop problem, but they can hit our phones and our tablets too. And that's why Surfshark Antivirus is such a smart add on. It's built right into the app and runs quietly in the background, protecting against malware.
So go to surfshark.com/make it or use code make it at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. There's a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, so no worries, my friends. Again, that's surfshark.com/make it or use the code make it at checkout, all one word, to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Be sure to check out the show notes for details. And now, back to the show. And we're back to the show. And you know,
That was sneaky.
Papa Bear got me. Uh,
So
and
dramatic.
so dramatic. And you know what that means. It's not, well, by the way, Nick,
Mm.
not as dramatic. I told you this other day, not as dramatic as Morgan Freeman.
Oh,
And
geez.
now you see me
Right.
dying. Shout out to Morgan Freeman trying to save that scene. That
Hey,
was
man.
brutally bad.
You got to say spoiler alert
Oh,
first for
spoiler
people
alert.
who haven't seen it.
Come on, people know he's dying. People know, people know, people
No,
know they're
Tia didn't know.
they're
I didn't
relaunching that
know.
series. They're relaunching. Tia, they're gonna relaunch. Now you see it, and with a whole younger cast that does magic. And there's no room for Morgan Freeman in these future
Mm,
movies, unfortunately. And
Mm.
he takes one for the team, quite literally. Um, but the way he dies, I just was like, this is bad, bad, bad. Anyway,
Drama.
just my opinion. You might love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Anyway, Nick, we
All right,
want to
let's
stick with you
yes, please. Let's
for
do this
filmmaker
because
Q&A.
I am ready for some filmmaker Q&A, and I know that Tia A. Smith is ready,
Audience
the
is ready.
mentor that she is. So yeah, I've got a couple of questions that I'm going to ask you, and for this one, I'm actually going to kind of walk through the history of Tia A. Smith.
Ooh.
And my first question is this: looking back at your time at Ithaca College, as we mentioned earlier, where you earned your degree in broadcast journalism, what were the experiences inside or outside the classroom that created the foundation for such a long-term career in television and film?
first and foremost, your research is amazing.
Shout out to producer Papa Bear.
Yeah, we do our best.
Yep.
There, showers. You do like nothing like me is what I do.
Papa Bear shrugged his
Yeah.
shoulders in a ironic and silly way for those
Mhm.
listening.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say inside of Ithaca College, I had an opportunity just to get hands-on. I got accepted to Syracuse, and for the first 2 years for their curriculum, you had to learn theory. You couldn't get on anything until your junior year, and I was like, "Oh,
Mm.
no, we're not doing this." So I just immerse myself into getting cameras and renting things out and getting with a motley crew and shooting stuff on the weekends. So that teamwork and I never really explained that again, I was okay on camera, but it was those things like renting out and getting the crew together that I was like, "Oh, this is producing.
Mm,
Oh, this is directing." I was learning it, for the courses that I was taking, but to actually execute on it and the feeling that I got in controlling the narrative, hiring people, assembling people, making sure that the vision was intact. I was like, "Oh, you've got me for life." So it was truly and then the way that I look at a story, and how I manage people, again, those were just seamless themes for me in producing. So that was a no-brainer, and then outside of that, Ithaca, very granola, very, organic and earthy area, college town, and then on the other mountain, shout out to, Cornell University. I did a double minor in Afram Studies and also Gender Studies, so I had a
mhm,
chance to do some courses there too. So, that also intrinsically went into my storytelling because loving sociology, that's the reason why I love character. I love the explanation or the theories about how you, and you got there, and
mhm,
it's different for everyone. I think there's a sense of empathy, in looking at the choices that we make. The human story is it's brutal, and it's beautiful at the same time.
mhm,
So I think that my love of studying people and characters, going through those courses right there, really set me up to say, "This is my one-two punch. I'm going to execute thoroughly, and I'm gonna be beautiful and broad with my characters. I'm going to forgive them, I'm gonna love them, I'm gonna hate them." But, all in all, they need a voice, and they're
mhm.
representative of who we are. It's our reflection. So that kinda combo really just stirred me up, and it's something that I've tried to take throughout, everything that I produce. Now, some of the crime shows that I've done, you may not have seen it or not. But you know what? I still, made sure that even when I was developing and doing some of the crime shows that I've been afforded to do, that there was some kind of reflection. There were some tips on the do's and don'ts or any kind of red flags. If you see this sort of person, you need to back away.
Mm.
So, again, those are the through lines, the human story, the discovery of it all that I take through a lot of everything that I create.
I love it because again, you took well, being a producer requires your engagement, your collaboration with humans.
Yes.
So, not just understanding and wanting to celebrate and showcase the human stories, but you have all of these humans that you are responsible for.
Literally.
So, right. So, having empathy for them and their situations and their individual stories, if you have that, that's probably one of the first and most important things you have to have as a producer. So, then helping to bring that to the screen is an extension of your care and loving for humans. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. I know in one production, I was literally trying to make sure that something didn't blow up while literally talking an AD off the edge.
Wow.
Like, I was therapist and producer all in one. I mean, but the beauty of producing is seeing the invisible. It's definitely seeing the invisible and protecting it until it becomes real. That's what
Mm,
an
yeah,
element of a producer is. You're protecting that story. You are the architect. You're making sure that the foundations are there so that people and the draft and the blueprints of the story can really stand up. Um, to me, it's never been about creating projects. It's been about creating ecosystems where
mm.
people are safe, that the story goes forward. Even if the wheels are falling off, the art isn't flattened to a certain degree, and making sure that people feel safe and that the right people are with you too, your heads of department. They get the vision.
Yeah.
And once you set that tone on set, it's wonderful.
We've
I've
heard a
had
lot of a lot of nightmare stories like that here from producers and other people where and this is so tricky where they met one person in the hiring process and in the sort of the pre-production process of bringing the team together, and then a different person shows up on set.
Absolutely.
And it's like, well, what do you do? Even our friend Rashid Stevens, Nick, remember in his Mistake in the Making
Yep.
from last year, his director was fine, everything was fine, and then he just doesn't show up for the short.
Yep.
And I think it was a short film, maybe it was a feature, I
Oh,
can't remember, but he just didn't
I
show
think
up.
it was a
He freaked,
feature. It was a
yeah,
feature.
he
Yeah.
freaked out. He said he had basically had a nervous breakdown and couldn't do it. And then Rashid had to figure out how to direct the movie on the spot because everything was paid.
that's absolutely right.
And it just what a wild story.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
don't know even how you it's so hard to predict that. A personality shift or someone's mental breakdown or whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, there's you have to turn up your spidey sense, but to your point, you never know how you may have to adapt and pivot, and I'm glad that he c there's some people that can speak art and can speak executive, and I must
Mhm,
admit that's something that I very much pride myself in. From the producing standpoint, I know how to, make sure that the executives get it and turn on that executive brain, but then also on the artist side, because I am an artist, I know how to turn that on too. So when I direct, it's really seamless.
mhm,
You understand? I'm paying attention, even though I'm gonna fight for that shot as a director and fight for the time that I need to really craft the scene. I'm also cognizant of, "Okay, I only have about another hour to get this done." And I'm moving things around in my head so that we can make day, but there's never a compromise. So when you do have that both working for you, it does make it a lot easier. So kudos to him and to, us that can kinda straddle that. Outside of that, you gotta make some calls. You gotta make
Got a
them
phone a
fast.
friend.
Yeah, you gotta phone a friend, and really make some decisions. I actually, when we were talking about producers earlier and, who we could shout out on the movie and film side, I had a chance to interview and speak in dialogue with my mentor/favorite slash favorite producer of all, Kathleen Kennedy.
mm,
I'm a part of the Producers Guild, and, they were having something in the month of July, maybe about 2 years ago, when she was shooting Raiders, and she was in Istanbul, and she was like, "I wanna speak to another independent producer," and they picked me, and we just chopped it up, and it was amazing, and I knew this, but the way she said it just was incredible. She said, "It's all about pre-production." Yeah. Getting the set and shooting is all sexy, yeah, the lights are on, "Alright, we're about to do this, but you better make sure your pre-production is tight,
yeah,
because if you're not, I mean, the bottom line is that once you get to set, it's about putting out fires and managing people, like, you are an octopus.
yeah.
People have no idea, and they really shouldn't know.
Yeah,
I have stories of
mm,
actors and directors, that have no idea what was going on behind the scene and how it almost fell apart.
yeah.
And even like I mentioned earlier, I'm directing, with my short film, shout out to Gold Morgan and Errol Sadler. I had 2 producers, and I'm like, it takes a special producer to produce a producer. So I was like, shout out to those brothers, but they really, handled the set so that I could just walk in as director and make sure I could get what I needed. And I'm sure there's so many stories and they don't tell me too. They're like, "T, you have no idea how this." I was like, "I don't need to know that. You're absolutely
Nope, you
right.
don't. They don't need to stress you out.
I'm
They
over
they
here
keep
in this
that.
side."
Yep.
Right. Yeah, this
Yep.
is what I'm doing over here.
The remarkable thing about that, Nick, is that she, like T, you're able to get something good out of it. Like the 2 examples I gave, I think it really hurt the project, but in both cases. But
Oh,
the real skill set there too, going beyond just being able to be flexible, is how do we, like you said, honor the story. So kudos
right.
to you on that. Nick, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to mention
No,
that.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
This is perfect. I love
Yeah.
it. We create conversation here, right? In our
Yes, sir.
authentic
Yes,
selves. So,
sir.
One of
okay.
the
So,
few.
question number 2.
Yes.
When you stepped into your role at BET, you were working at the intersection of culture, music, and television. What did you learn in those early leadership years about managing both creative output and cultural responsibility?
Mm.
Wow. This is great, these questions. My goodness.
That's a toughie right there, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, you're talking about a time when, and specifically when I became a leader at BET. That was one of my internships that I had junior year, and it was in the videotape library which was the McDonald's of the place. I mean, you had people flying in asking for tapes and all kinda attitudes and interestingness and how they crazy, totally entry level, and, it taught me a lot, and I would moonlight. After my shift was over, I would go into the edit suites, and I would sit with people and producers and have relationships and just learn, okay? So
Hmm.
that was incredible as far as the exposure that I got. And then the other internship I had was at KISS FM, where I met my mentor, Greg
Mm.
Diggs, also Donnie Simpson, who was here locally.
Donnie Simpson, yep.
Donnie Simpson.
Yo. And, I learned from those guys, and with my interaction with Greg Diggs, at the time, he had left radio and was brought in to be in charge of all the music videos and the programming at BET. So, when he saw that I was in the library, it was literally like Cinderella, like, "What are you doing here?" You know, and he was like, "I know who you are, you went to school with us," and I was like, "Listen, I needed an entry job." And, so that question right now that you're speaking about is where I feel like I got some sort of leadership.
Okay.
And it came with a heavy mantle because we were deciding all the music videos that were airing on the network. And,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of, music business interestingness that goes along with it. I learned to never owe anybody anything.
Hmm.
There was all kinds of conversations about, what can be done or what could be offered to get more spins on a specific
Like a
video.
type of payola.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, like, it's a thin line, and anybody could choose their direction. I'm just glad that I had good counsel in my leadership, and
Yeah.
a part of sitting with and under him was learning that, there was a bigger message, and even
Okay.
though these artists had the right to express themselves, we had to follow the company rules, and then also from a cultural perspective, do you wanna continue to show a certain type of visual, a
Yeah, that's
certain
right.
of language. So if you
Mhm.
did have curse words, let's take it out.
Right.
And yes, RZA, I'll never forget to call it RZA. We know what Sticky Icky is, Method Man,
Yeah.
all that is. You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
So let's get it out. And, to someone who may have not cared or saw that as something that would be impactful, they may have let it slide. But again, I was posted up and under someone that was like, "No, we have a greater responsibility, and these are the things that need to be taken out." So again, I've had these people that have been in my life throughout my career that have along with, good home training, you know, and just a sensibility of the bigger picture that have allowed me to stay the course and to know that things are bigger than me and that there is a responsibility to everything that you write. There's a responsibility to everything that you shoot and how you shoot it. And there's a responsibility to how it will affect someone. So you need to be aware of it.
Mm.
Yeah, and Chris, we've had this conversation a lot. I have this conversation more often than I care to about the current state of Black entertainment. So, I it's always a tough one for me because I feel like
Stand on your
the
will you do you mind taking a
consideration.
moment to get on your soapbox, please?
Oh, yeah, 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 I don't wanna be on it too long, this ain't about me, this ain't about me, but I just have to say, it's just I watch, I listen, and let's do a brief soapbox. So my brief soapbox is, I think it was the last BET awards that I watched, music awards that I watched. I noticed that there wasn't a jazz category. I noticed that there wasn't a blues
Almost
category.
criminal, right?
I noticed
Like,
that there wasn't a classical category. Right? I didn't
Mhm,
know I noticed that there wasn't a country category. There all the things that show the varied cornucopia of expression that
yeah,
the African American culture,
yes.
is known for, is absent from Black culture, if you hear what I'm saying.
mhm.
Yeah.
So, that has been my concern, and I've been on that soapbox for a while, even as, my children are growing up and they're listening to music and they're watching shows. I'm very much attuned to what is that saying to you? what is that saying about who you are and what your culture is?
Mm.
Mhm.
And I feel like some of those guardrails that you mentioned from a time ago may not exist anymore, or maybe not in the same way that they used to, and it saddens me.
Yeah, well, technically, and not defending, but it's just a fact that that show was never really posited for that.
Mm.
It never had that. I mean, the question of should it have is definitely, on the table.
Mhm.
But from what the brand was and how it was to be expressed, it was never that broad, to have all of those different genres. But
I
I
know.
mean, I definitely hear you, and that's the reason why even though we had those guardrails and I'm on a soapbox with it too, there's a part of me definitely as an artist and a creative, I don't wanna box anybody in.
Mm.
Just
Right.
like, people could say, "Oh, everything that's going on with, drill rap and all this other stuff," and, some people have just aged out. I think it's definitely an expression,
Mhm.
um, needs to be heard because I
Yep.
remember hearing about hip hop. I mean, I'm a
Right.
hip hop baby, and my uncle didn't like it, he couldn't stand it, he was like, "This is crazy," but guess what I did? I played some Gangstar back in the day, like, when I was a
Yeah.
teenager, who did that Jazzmatazz album, he was
That's
like,
right.
"This stuff's not bad after all." You know what I mean? So, I think that every genre has their question of, like, what we did in the past was this, and how are you, evolving, or maybe they wouldn't say it was evolving, but I think that every generation goes through it. My issue is that I want to see everything on the table. You understand?
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
we had
I think that's
Tribe.
what you're saying, Nick.
You understand? So, because the industry has just narrowed it to one offering, that's the problem to me.
Yep.
Um, but I believe that the offerings that are there, it needs to be there because it's saying something. It's a reflection of
Mhm.
our world. Trap and the whole 9, like, let's get it. But it
Yep.
should not be the only offering for us and be
Exactly.
seen as that this represents us, period. Because we are a lot more, that we're not a monolith, period.
Mm.
So, yeah, give us the offerings.
I love it. That's
I'll
it.
stand if there's room on the soapbox, but I get down a little bit.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I left a little space, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like I said, it's
Mhm.
not just about me. It's not just about me. All right, let's move on to question number 3. So, your time at Viacom as a showrunner and producer meant balancing vision, logistics, and large teams, which you actually mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
What mindsets did you develop during that period that you now consider essential for moving from a content producer to a creative leader?
Hmm.
Mm.
Well, to me, I was actually having that mashup at the same time then, to tell you the truth,
Yep.
because and I know it deals with some of my family members who are entrepreneurs, having the business sense and being able to see that. A lot of times, I know it's colloquial, but it's real that, if you can see it, you can be it, and I
Yep.
did see a lot of business, functionality in my family. So I've always had that brain of creative and business. So it's a through line that has taken me through to Viacom, helped me start my own production company. And then I went back on the inside for another network job where I was over, I was one of the executives from the network that was over the Image Awards and worked in tandem with other executive producers that we hired. And I mean, that credit list, it was easy 140 people that I was over. You know what I mean? So you take both of those brains in and, mixed with listening to people, hearing what they need, making decisions, to make sure that the show goes off properly.
Mhm.
So, I don't wanna say it's not easy, but it does somewhat come easy to float in between both of those worlds.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, it's both sides of the brain, as they say,
Yeah.
right? Your ability to do that and to balance it well. I think is wonderful, and that actually leads me into this next question, which is perfect. Yeah, I know that Chris is normally
Segue.
segue man,
Yeah.
but come on, segue queen just rolled up,
Yep,
so
yep,
just
yep,
gotta
yep,
say
yep.
it,
We're
gotta
queening
put it out
all
there.
your king stuff tonight. Just
She's been
tonight.
doing
That's
it. She's actually been doing it all episodes. She doesn't. She may realize it. You may realize it, but
Just saying.
you've
It came
been.
from her gender studies.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Top of it.
He's on
Top
Now,
of
top
it.
of
now
his
me and
game.
now me and Tia
Yeah.
And I work
almost
for
the same
corporate.
thing. Except I did print journalism. She did
Nice.
broadcast
Mhm.
journalism. She did African American studies. I did something called urban studies that Nick makes fun of because it's a silly title for for a minor, but within it, it had African American psychology and
Mm,
Mm,
sociology.
nice.
I like it.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Anyway,
Parallels, man,
the parallels.
parallels. All
The
right.
parallel. Yeah.
Yeah, the parallel. So then the next question is this. So you talk about being an entrepreneur. So running your own production company required both creative and entrepreneurial thinking. So
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
did building a business teach you about owning your own voice?
That I was the boss. That's what it taught me. I mean, I can honestly say that every time I left a given network or studio, it was done well, to the point that they would ask me back and they became clients. So that was incredible to have. And, it truly taught me that I was the boss and I was gonna run it the way that I wanted to run it. I had some great examples, but then I had some not so great examples.
Mhm.
I never honestly had a female mentor.
Mm.
All of my mentors were kings.
Mm. Well
So I
played.
I made it I made it, my mantra to make sure that I was the person that I never had. So in my hiring, I made sure that the ladies understood what the expectations were and that they were supported. And that just really became big for me, and that the content, even though we didn't make it gender specific, everything would be done in excellence. Everything was a team-spirited, contribution, um, and just other things. It's funny. I'm thinking about some of the people that's, "Oh, I got the Tia-isms." You went to the
Ooh.
school of Tia, because there's just some pillars that I believe in. You gotta have some integrity in your excellence. You don't have to be perfect, but, make sure that you're aligning with something that how you would wanna be treated, you know? So, there needs to be integrity. Let your yes be yes, and let your no
Hmm.
be no, and that's fine. Um, you need to study also, you know? If you want to be a director, if you want to be a producer, study those people. Make sure that you understand elements of the craft. Don't chase any trends. Trends are fleeting.
Mhm.
Make sure that your voice is really saying something and that it's yours and it's authentic. So these are things that I try to instill in the people that I partner with, the people that call me mentor, the people that I look up to have some of these things, and I just try to pass it on.
Yep.
Oh, and also, do not wait to be chosen. You go out there and you make your place. You have your voice out there, and you set your table up. Period.
I love that.
I love it. Yeah, and I like that last one too. So of course
Your
I
last
was
one's
gonna
great.
yeah, that the last one's awesome because I think about that, that idea of the chosen one.
Yeah.
Nah, you're the chosen one if you choose yourself.
You know what? The one before that too, Nick,
That's
and
good.
is great, Tia, because
That's good.
it is so much harder than you realize to use your own voice, to
Mhm.
know whether you're doing it or not, and it takes a long time to polish yourself as a creative and as an artist, and to get
Yeah.
to the center and core of what you're trying to say. Because I think as an artist, if you when you take this path, the true root of it is you have something that has to get out, something you're
Yeah.
trying to say, and sometimes it takes you 10 times to say it the right way,
Mhm.
right? And that's why you'll if you go to an artist, you'll kind of see a through line in all their work, even though it's all different. There's a through line of emotion. I think about how I can't put it into words necessarily. I would think of it kind of maybe something close to nostalgia, but
Mhm.
you could use the word nostalgia as a through line, for example, for through all of Frank Ocean's albums and work, for
Mm.
example. So even though all the work is different, the tone is the same.
Right.
The idea essentially is the same, which is essentially either nostalgia mixed with unrequited love.
Mhm.
Those are the two themes that he just keeps hammering you with over and over and over
Indeed.
again until you get it. You know what I mean? And he has a million different ways to say it, and it's fantastic. And
Mhm.
so, I challenge anybody to go out and look at their favorite artists, whether it be in music or film or TV, and you'll find out that there's a through line through their work and it just stays. They're trying to say the same thing.
Chris
Yeah.
is talking about me. He's talking about me. I heard that.
Uh-oh.
Just look at the wall behind me,
Oh.
Mhm.
right?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Chris said what he said, the through line is nostalgia, right? I was like, bro, you talking about me again? Like, like that's it.
Yeah.
My Lego art is really all about that. It's just these things that I love
Yeah.
Yeah.
throughout my life, people that I admire. I've got Malcolm X over there. I've got Bruce Lee. I've got Martin
Oh,
Luther
wow.
King. I
Yeah,
got
Prince.
Biggie and Pac. I got
Yeah.
Prince down here.
Mhm.
You got Marilyn Monroe. You got like
Yeah.
all these characters have meant something to me at one point or another
Mhm.
in my life. So you're absolutely right, Chris. Like my artistry is based off of nostalgia
Mhm.
and things that were meaningful at different stages in my life. And you're right. Again, you said they're all different. They
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
they are. Everything's different, but
Yep.
they're all a piece of who I am.
Yep.
Yeah, and you have to give yourself grace too as a creative too, because there's a season where your voice may be this, but as you're literally growing in age
Mhm.
and experience, you may evolve into something else,
Yep.
but it is true. It does come down like I don't wanna seem like it's over. When you look back over your life, no,
Yeah.
you're not there,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when you connect the dots, you do see themes.
Yep.
And for me, I know it's definitely I love Fish Out of Water, and I love that human tapestry story. I love, um, stories that are relatable and that show that we're a lot more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
And the choices that we make, the nuances, the culture, those are the things that I gravitate to,
You
you
mentioned
know?
working with Hootie earlier in the
Oh,
conversation,
yeah.
and Hootie and the Blowfish, led by Darius Rucker, and I
Yeah.
just thought we should just mention that, and you were saying that in the context of being open-minded,
Mhm.
enjoying a lot of different don't put you in a box. And I just wanted to be on the record here on the Make It podcast that Darius Rucker tried to do R&B before he did country after he left Hootie. And we did not, we as the Black community did not accept it.
I remember
And
that.
had we been more like Tia, he, as a community and
Right.
as music lovers, he would be an R&B artist today, not a country star. But maybe
Wow.
it's for the best because he really is a country star.
He's a star.
He's a star. Yeah.
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 Well, you know what? I'm not saying I'm glad that it happened, but he flexed his muscles in that,
Mhm.
and if he wanted to, I would encourage him to continue to do it.
Yeah.
Um, it's real about your reception from people, but as an artist, why not try it? And
Yep.
he
Yeah.
may want to after he has every right after country if he wants to do
Chris
that.
Gaines with Garth Brooks.
Oh,
Okay.
one of my favorite albums of
Yeah.
all time,
He
and
was he was
it's not
shamed.
out. You
He was
can't get
shamed
it.
for it,
He
and
was.
he has buried the fact that he did that album.
Yep. It's
And he
so
did
hard
not
to
take the
find.
Tia approach. He's
Bro, Lost in
Mhm.
You. Come on.
lost in
One of the
there might not be
best.
a better saying song by a country ar
Must
by
admit,
well,
Lost
by
in
any
You,
like a
Yeah,
it's one of the
Goosebumps.
greatest
that's
pop
good.
songs you'll hear.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's amazing.
Shout out to Don Was, I think is who produced that. So,
mm.
Mm.
yeah, Lost in You. If you can find, if you can find, and I don't know if editor Kate can, we might get dinged for
Find
it,
a track.
but
Yeah.
find it or just like find a picture of Chris Gaines and put it on the
Chris
screen.
Gaines. Chris,
But
Chris. And remember,
but
he used to
find
walk
Lost in
around
You by Chris
town.
Gaines
He used to walk around town as
as
Chris
Chris
Gaines.
Gaines.
He rolled up, I
Yeah.
think it was after my graduation. He
Mhm.
came to that same restaurant that I was at as Chris Gaines. And for
Brilliant.
a while, you could hear that song like at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, everything stops for me when I hear that song.
Yeah,
And my wife would be like, "Baby, come on, we gotta
I
go." I'm
learned how
like,
to
"No,
play
we
it on
don't."
piano. Yeah.
We
We
do
gonna
something
listen to
different.
Chris
I don't
Gaines.
know.
Yeah, I love it. And he was a country star, and then he wanted to give this sort of rock persona, and Chris
Yeah.
Gaines was all dressed up in black and in leather,
Black.
and
And
I
he
think it
had
was
the
kind of like that audience's first sort of dipping their toe into, hey, we don't want
Mhm.
this woke stuff.
Mhm. Oh, wait, don't say that word. Oh my god.
Oh, no, no, it was such a departure. That's what it was. It
Yes.
was such a departure. And remember, he lost a lot of weight
He
to
lost a
be
lot
Chris
of weight to be
Gaines.
Chris Gaines. It was a little
So
effeminate for the audience, I felt like, and they
Mhm.
yeah,
totally
yeah, yeah.
rejected it, Tia, and it was a good album.
Yep.
Great
Mm.
song, good album is
Oh, yeah, that
what I would
song is
say.
classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, did you do it, Nick?
I did the thing
Yeah.
because I thought it was perfect to end on that note from Tia, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, my next question, if I were to have one, was to get into that place of advice, and she did that perfectly. So I love that for our audience to get those Tia-isms
Well, Tia
that they
Mhm.
can take with them. As I knew she would be a mentor to this audience, she did the thing. So I'll say that I did the thing. Filmmaker Q&A. This was another amazing one. Thank you, Tia, for your thoughts and your insights and your advice.
There we go. Papa
Yep.
Bear, will you hit us with some things we should know? Hit us
I
with some things
will.
we won't know, but yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
You'll know.
yeah. And
Tia
Chris,
will.
remember, Chris, you can't cheat. Okay. And no
Does he
no
know it
Googling.
already?
No
No
Googling.
Googling, no schmoogling, no chat GPT, and I don't know,
No,
whatever the new term
no,
is, you can't do
whatever it
No
is.
offset. Yeah.
it.
Let's do it.
So,
Let's do it, PB.
yeah. Well, I'll start with congratulations, Tia.
Thank you.
I don't think we've brought this up so far, but in September you were inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame,
Ah. Yes,
There
thank
we
right?
go.
you.
Let's
Thank you.
Well,
Wait. I just heard a phone call from your haters, Tia.
know,
Congratulations!
Leave 'em on red.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, PB.
so only 4 individuals have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Gospel Music Hall of Fame,
Mm.
more than once.
How's that possible?
So, well, think about it. You can be inducted as an individual, or you can be inducted as part of a group.
Okay, well, I'll stand stupid, so
Uh,
go ahead.
Okay, so my question is,
Mhm.
who is the only African American woman to have been inducted in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame more than once?
Oh gosh. Did we say Shirley Caesar earlier in this?
CeCe Winans?
CeCe Winans is a wonderful guess. Holy moly. Gosh. I'm right. I'm writing some of these down to you.
Or Aretha?
See, that's my first one. My first one was Aretha. You took that one from me. But I want to say CeCe as well because it was CeCe and it was BB and CeCe.
Right.
And if you
good call, Nick.
Wait, because so the third one, but I don't remember if she was ever part of the Winans because I thought the Winans were always the men.
Men, yes.
Yeah.
So she would have been CeCe and BB and
BB.
CeCe.
Right.
Yeah. So I would.
So
I
your
would go,
guess is
those are my
CeCe.
No, those are my 2 because there've been multiple.
Well,
No,
you're gonna get 2
he said
guesses. You
only
can't
one
get 2
woman.
guesses.
You can't get
No,
two.
he said only one woman.
Yeah.
Right.
One
Yes.
woman.
Who's the only African American woman to
There's
have
only
been
one
But
woman.
not
inducted?
just woman, black woman.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Only African American woman. So I would go CeCe. Because even though I think Aretha, do you remember what group Aretha was? Aretha ever associated with a group?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I'm going CeCe.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
CeCe.
Yeah, I'm going with CeCe too.
Yeah, because it's CeCe and BB and CeCe.
Drum roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you, wait, hold on,
Chris?
PB. What are you
So
going? What are you going with, Tia?
I'm going with CeCe.
So you're
CeCe.
both going with CeCe.
Yeah, because of CeCe and BB and CeCe.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Because if you don't induct BB and CeCe, you're out of your flipping mind. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna listen. I know. Listen, I think you guys are right, but I just for the sake of making this a little bit more interesting, I'm gonna go with
Throw another one.
Mahalia Jackson.
Ooh.
Mahalia Jackson.
Mhm.
Is that Michael's sister?
Here we go.
Okay, PB.
I think it's Michael's daddy's sister.
You're right. Exactly.
Because Joe Jackson's sister.
Yeah, Joe Jackson's sister. Okay,
Yeah.
PB. You got to lay it on
right.
us. Who is it?
So, also known as the Queen of Gospel Music, with 11 Grammys, 15 Dove Awards, 14 Stellar Awards, it is Shirley Caesar.
Oh!
Oh, that's right. Oh!
So we had it right
They're not
early.
gonna take away my award on it.
Wait. So why? So why the two? Because
11
Shirley
Grammys
Caesar.
is crazy.
No,
But what did she get it? But why did she get it twice?
She was first. You have to ask them. She was first. She was first inducted in
Caravan.
2000, and
Mm-hmm.
then again in 2017. So who's the only African American man that was inducted more than once?
BB.
So you're going BB? You're staying on the Winans, you're going BB?
Because he's BB and he's part of the Winans.
I'm going to go Daryl Cooley.
Well, I was going to say Kirk Franklin.
Ooh, Kirk Franklin's a good guess, too.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's Kirk Franklin, and then when he said now you're talking. Who is it, PB?
Well, it's somebody that had a gospel show that was the longest running show on BET.
Bobby Jones.
Oh,
Bobby Jones. Bobby
Of
Jones.
course, it's Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones.
Shout out to
Dr.
Bobby
Jones was inducted in 2008 and again in 2014.
Okay, so Tia, you need to
Dr.
know that
Jones.
my mother sang with Bobby Jones in the 70s.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What's her name?
Gwendolyn, well, Barkley, but maiden name Moore. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to all the Moores out there.
Well, she was a
Mario.
Barkley at that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Gwendolyn Barkley, and my oldest sister Angie was, I think, the youngest singer in the choir. She was
She
what
was
5
the
years
youngest
old
in the mass choir of Love Train, which was Bobby Jones' mass choir that he had in Nashville before he made it big time. Yeah, had the show on TV. So it was a nonprofit organization called Project Help, and they took the choir around all over the South and raised love offerings to give money to the poor and the elderly for electric bills and food and things like that.
That's a little on the nose, isn't it, PB? Project Help.
Hey,
don't you gotta have? They needed Tia to come in and have like a more creative title, more inspiring.
Say what it is.
People need to know what they're getting.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're getting help.
Getting help.
Right.
Wow.
Them love offerings.
That's how he got started.
How about Project Love, Nick? Oh, that could be too many things. You're right. Could be too many things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby Jones. He's still hanging in there too, right, PB?
Yeah.
Yep. We saw him last year.
Yep. That's right. We did see him last year at the African American Music Museum that we were talking about earlier. I think off camera. Yeah, he was. You're right. I totally forgot he was there. That is right. He was there, looking good, looking sharp as usual.
September. His birthday is in September, so we always talk during that time.
Same as my birthday.
Oh, it's great.
September 18th.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still
Papa Bear gift.
No, I'm still mad about the BBCC thing. So I might have to petition, do whatever I gotta do.
Well, let's hurry up and get them inducted again.
Yeah.
Let's get them inducted again, Tia. You got to get on it.
Come on.
The Papa Bear, that is definitely a thing we should know.
That's right. It's a thing Tia should know. So
it's a thing.
I know all of them too. That's horrible.
Listen, Tia, your next dinner party. I know
that's right.
You got a conversation starter.
Definitely.
That's right. Did you know?
Did you know? And everybody's going to guess Cece.
That's right.
And you're going to shock them with Shirley Caesar and with, of course, Bobby Jones. Thank you, PB, for another incredible thing you should know. By the way, before we go to clear the set, Tia, PB, do you care to tell the people that are watching and listening what your background is today.
I mean, the fact that he's like German and like all that kind of background, is that what you're talking about? Or you
Yes, of course,
Heritage-wise?
heritage-wise, but of course,
Right.
but also literally his virtual background on this
Oh, yeah,
show.
that's interesting, PB.
Oh.
What is that? I see like I'm not sure what that is.
Oh my goodness, no you didn't? You guys, okay, wait, this is getting real bizarre.
Isn't that your
I know
brunch
something else,
table
guys.
from Dubai in 2015?
Wait a minute.
I love when Papa Bear does this.
Wait, I love how he went like this.
Yeah, he did.
Just lean to the side and reveal
Papa
the
Bear.
chair.
Papa Bear works for the CIA.
Well,
That is
not anymore
crazy.
now that you've outed me.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Now you've done it. Now you
Oh
will.
my
Well done,
gosh,
PB.
yes, that's when I went to Dubai in 2015 with a friend, and, she's brilliant. She's one of my best friends, and she's also a producer, and, she just showed us such a great time. I mean, they're really big into, obviously, brunching and tea, and
Mhm.
everything is over the top and exquisite, and yeah, that was a wonderful meal too. Oh my gosh.
Huh?
You're making me
Brought back
hungry
some
again.
memories right there. Brought back
Was it
some.
free?
There,
Yeah,
not
right.
until not until you did the link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then let's
Yeah.
see.
It's amazing how good the food tastes when it's free.
Well,
that's right. Well done,
the,
PB.
the glass should have been a tip off there.
Yeah, those
Mm.
I
are
don't know.
enormous glasses. I actually thought that was a vase.
The
I know,
goblet.
right?
The goblet.
Those are
Goblets.
those are
Goblets.
goblets.
Correct.
That's like
Oh
from
my
Chitty
God.
Chitty Bang
Papa
Bang.
Bear.
Wait, what was the name of that movie? PB, where it's the goblet. No, it wasn't Chitty Chitty Bang
Oh,
Bang.
the court
The
jester.
Court Jester.
Yeah, with
Go see with Danny Kaye, who is still alive.
Danny J.
Oh yeah.
Danny
Right?
Kaye is
99 years old,
amazing.
right?
Well, Dick Van Dyke's
Dick
got him
Van
beat.
Dyke.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Dick Van
Y-
Dyke.
Yeah, I
Dick
think
Van
Danny
Dyke's
Kaye is
100.
passed.
No,
I
Danny
thought
Kaye
Danny Kaye was
passed.
passed. Yeah,
Dick Van Dyke is still kicking.
that's right.
Yeah.
Good job. Shout out to Dick Van Dyke. 100
Wait,
years old.
real quick. And he looks like one of the characters.
99. He's either
in-
99 or 100.
Right. Like in one of his movies, like he played an older person. He looks like that character.
He looks like the character he
Mary
played.
Poppins. Yeah, he looks like the older character he played in Mary Poppins now. I'm like, that is crazy.
That is
Yeah.
that is actually kind
That
of
is
nuts. And now
full
I'm gonna have to
circle.
look it up. Editor
Yep.
Kate, if you could find a picture of those two things, Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins, and then
Yep.
a modern day picture of him and put it on the screen, that would be great.
Unbelievable.
Tia, are you ready to clear the dang set?
Let's do it set.
You said
Let's
the dang set.
dang set.
I'm not ready. We need to keep going. But yes, let's go ahead and clear the
I know,
set.
I
because
know.
I'm kind of sad. I'm having such a good time.
Yeah, it's been a fun adventure, right? Like here
Exactly.
we
I love this.
go.
How far
Okay.
south do you have to go before dang turns into dern?
Whoa.
Right. Better watch your
That's
mouth,
a thing
PB.
we should know.
That's your next question.
It's so bad. It's good.
Wait, Chris. How far west then do you have to go to turn your dang and your dern into a dang gum?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay, we're stopping it right there. Party foul. Party foul.
I feel like
Get the north.
Yeah.
it is like somebody's chewing on something when they say
See?
it.
In the words of
He's a
Charlie
dang
Brown, good
No,
grief.
wait. I got to give this one to you because I've never dropped this one on you before.
Okay.
And Tia mentioned South Carolina earlier, and we're talking about the dang and the dadgum and then the dern. Okay, hang on. I got to compose myself real quick.
Okay, for those listening, Nick is
So-
crying.
So my grandfather on my mother's side,
It looks like he has
he
an
used
allergy.
to, when he got upset with us grandkids, he would be like, "Corn funnet,
Corn farted.
corn
That-
funnet."
that's
He said,
South
"Corn funnet." Wait, we can't. And I told my mom this, like,
Oh my God.
why granddaddy always say. He's always saying corn funnet. Like I looked it up. I can't find it in the dictionary. Like I can't find it anywhere. What does that mean?
I've never heard
And
this.
she told me one day, she said, Nicholas, he is not saying corn funnet. He's saying confounded.
Uh,
Oh my God.
Like, wow,
Oh, man.
this gotta
Oh
be
my
the most
god.
South Carolina thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Confound
Look, hold it.
it.
I'm gonna
It
run it
sounds like
actually.
Foghorn Leghorn would say
Oh,
that.
Chris, I'm
shout out to
crying, man.
Grandpa.
Yeah, I'm
Oh my
crying.
god.
I got tears in my
That is
eyes right
poor
now.
So for
language.
those listening, Nick is
Oh my
crying. He
gosh.
is
I'm
sweating.
literally tearing up.
He's tearing up.
I see why you had to compose yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I composed
That
myself
is
for so
insane.
many reasons.
That
One, of
reminded
course,
me.
is hilarious, and of course, two, my grandfather is
Confounded.
no longer with us.
Oh my
Shout out to your
god.
So I'm
grandfather, though.
sure some of his spirit is coming through my eyeballs right now.
Yeah.
That
Cornfind
Thank you
it.
for leaving us with that, man. Senior great
Sorry.
grandfather
that is
Buzz, man,
amazing.
from
Yeah,
South
yeah.
Carolina, dropping us that.
He's on my mama's side, so that's a
Okay.
different
Oh,
side.
not the Buck side. Got it. Okay.
Yep. So anyway,
South Carolina,
let's
stand up.
clear the
Let's
set
move that from the bugs.
Yeah, we're
with
gonna we're gonna.
Smith.
It reminds me, PB. I had a friend, a colleague, who couldn't say impetus. He'd say impetus, and you couldn't correct him because he was at the time my superior at work. So you
Oh,
just had to be like,
tough spot.
how am I going to say this to him? How am I going to say it to
Hold
him?
your face.
Because he's been saying it for
Right.
so long.
He
Wrong.
could have been British.
No, he wasn't. He
Right.
was Southern.
Aluminium.
Yeah, aluminium. Exactly.
Yep.
I wish you were British. I wish you were British. Shout out to you, sir. You know who you are. All right. I'm not
All right.
gonna dox the people who wish not to be doxed, Nick. Okay.
Come on now. Let's clear it.
I
Tia,
love this.
what are your
Yeah.
top 3 films?
Oh, come on.
What's the setup?
Come
No, here's the
on.
thing, Tia, how about this? Just name the first 3 that come to your head.
Uh,
There you go.
okay.
Just do it.
Okay. Apocalypse Now.
Ooh.
Cry Freedom.
Okay. I'm writing these down.
Cooley High.
Ooh.
Yeah. Apocalypse Now, I know that's extremely heavy. But, I had a cousin, and when I was younger, I always knew he was different. He didn't sit at the table. He was very removed, and
Hmm.
I always heard that he was the playboy and, before the war. I
Hmm.
always heard that. And when I saw that movie, it made me see him and the atrocities of war.
Oh, wow.
And if you've seen Apocalypse Now, you know that it's a sensory overload.
Yeah.
It's beautifully shot. It's vast. It's big. It's sound. I think they won like the Oscar for sound and editing. I mean, it was insane that how they took you into the physical jungle, but
Yeah.
it took you into the darkest part of a character.
Yeah.
You have Captain Willard that's trying to find, Kurtz and get him back, that he's gone rogue. And that whole journey of him in pursuit of him is really in pursuit of himself. So there's a lot of layers to that. But I just thought that, and I was really young, it helped explain someone that was very close to us and
Hmm.
opened me up, unfortunately, to the atrocities of war. And then as a filmmaker, when I learned about it was like 16 months to get it done when they were projected for like 6 months, and all of the monsoons, and there was a war going on, so they couldn't get helicopters up, and, you know, Sheen having a heart attack on set. I mean, Coppola, putting his house up and almost having a nervous breakdown, and because I know what it takes to get it done, having that is like on 9,000, and they still got it done, and it's heralded as one of the best films ever, is a feat. So it
Yeah.
makes me love it even more, and even that the actors, I mean, a lot of that was improv.
Hmm.
Brilliant, brilliant. You see a young Harrison Ford and a young Lawrence Fishburne, just improv and, given a shot to do that. So I love that. I love that movie.
Yeah,
And
and
Cry
say what you will about Coppola. I mean, that dude's willing
Mhm.
to put up the ranch for his art.
Literally,
Yeah.
He does it
literally.
over and over and over again. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Cry Freedom for me, again, I mean, it was the first awareness socially of apartheid. Um, and I'll never forget leaving out of Wheaton Plaza. Wheaton
There
Plaza
you go.
Wheaton Plaza movie theater in tears screaming, "Something has to change," and my mother like, "Come here, you little 8-year-old."
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, "What are you doing?" And, you know,
Mm,
I just hearing about apartheid and what they were going through at the time, and it was still going on then, um, was horrible, and
yeah.
feeling some of those microaggressions even in my own country, the levels of how we assume things and how things are stripped from certain people and who gets to do what. I saw a similarity and a parallel that I was living at the time, and the, necessary, activism of a Stephen Biko and the human connection that he had with, like, Donald Wood, the author, who had to escape South Africa to get the book out. You know what I mean? There was a lot of different things and complexities of their relationship with the front and backdrop of apartheid,
Right.
changed my life. And that's honestly when I was like, "I wanna make movies like that," because I was hella angry,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and I was hurt. And, I literally burned ooh, I almost got knocked out. My mom almost knocked me out. I burned my Reeboks, yo. I burned my Reeboks because I found out that Reebok was a part of, they were in South Africa,
Mhm.
so that really was the beginning of my, social awareness and how that just stirred me up, and I was like, "I'm gonna do work like that.
Mhm.
I'm going to change people. I'm gonna make them think." I'm gonna show, the rights and the wrongs of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
then Cooley High, come on, coming of age.
yeah.
Right.
Coming
Coming
of
of
Yeah.
age.
yeah.
It was definitely before my time, but I remember saying, "I wanna have house parties like that when I grow up," and,
Yeah.
hearing some of the music and the soundtrack that my uncles were playing in the background with Motown and having a crush on Cochise and Preach,
Yeah.
the character Preach that, even despite the environment of Green and
Hmm.
ghetto per se, I don't even say per se, the ghetto,
The
Mhm.
ghetto. Yep.
that these kids, in their senior year was just dealing with, unfortunately, some of the same things we're dealing with today, the assumptions, the pulling over the cops, and the madness, but still having dreams.
Yeah.
And, showing how some of the kids, if they didn't get out of the neighborhood, unfortunately, their choices carved out their future. But for Preach at the end, always said he wanted to be a Hollywood writer, and I don't know if you've seen it, but, at the very
Oh
end
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, when at the very end, they're burying Cochise, and he's pouring out a little liquor on him and giving
Yeah.
his incredible expository monologue. Woo! And, you got "It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday"
Yeah.
back. I'm bawling,
Yeah.
Dude,
then
that's what I was just gonna say. I was like, listen, you talk about Cooley High. What was the name of Boyz II Men's first album?
Cooley High Harmony.
Cooley High Harmony.
there it is, you know what
There
I
it is.
mean? And then the one that still gives me chills after he gives his salute to his partner. Starts running, "I'll be there." You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
insane, and, then, they have the flash of the credits, and it shows that he actually did make it as a Hollywood writer. So, I mean, it was seminal to see that kind of representation. Um, it wasn't my lens of the '80s, but it was still classic, it was still resonance in it because, it showed the coming of age, that you had hopes and aspirations, and you had your peoples with you, and you were having a good time, so
One of the most
So now I'm
unique
mad,
lists. One of
Chris.
the most unique lists we've gotten. Or top
Yeah, I'm
3
mad
films,
though.
for
I'm
this day.
mad though
Really?
because I don't have Cooley High Harmony. Like I had Cooley High. I have like, New Jack City. I've got Boys in the Hood. Like I've got all these
That's
other
fine.
movies. And
I
I'm
love
but I'm talking about I got like because I'm a guy who
Yeah.
like gets DVDs
Oh,
and
you mean
Blu-rays
Yeah, he
okay.
and I
physically
want the
owns them,
physical.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Same.
Like I
Guilty as charged.
I have
Yep.
to have it. So like now I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
got
get it.
South Central, like all these things that are just,
I got the,
brown sugar.
Criterion collection, Menace to Society.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these are
Yeah.
the things that you have to have. You
Oh,
don't
no
Yeah.
doubt.
you don't stream, don't expect someone else to provide it to you. You gotta own that. And
Yeah.
now I'm just like, dag nabbit. See?
Just
That's
add it
one
to
Dag
word.
the
nabbit,
list.
Dag nabbit. Corn funnet.
corn shuffle.
On it, you gotta get it.
I gotta get it. Coolie High
That
is on my list. I'm gonna get that.
that's Looney Tunes.
There it is. All right, Tia. Name the film you're embarrassed to admit you haven't seen.
Oh,
So
God.
here's the situation, because some people ask me to clarify this.
Do the
It's
right
like
thing.
it's like It's like you're in a group setting. It's a bunch of people in industry. Everybody's seen the movie, and you're tempted to just say, "Yeah, me too," even though you know you haven't seen it. What's the
Yeah,
movie you're embarrassed to say you haven't seen?
that's for you? That's your confession? Oh my gosh. No,
You
that's
gotta say what it is.
okay, what it is, Rear Window.
Ooh.
Rear Window.
Wait. Have you seen any derivatives of that movie? Like, have you seen the remakes that they've done over time?
No, I haven't seen Rear Window. So and I'm like, clutching the pearl
Please don't
as a
ask me if I've
filmmaker.
seen it.
I've seen
Oh,
most of Falcon,
wow.
I've seen a lot of international films, but I have not stopped, I haven't seen that one.
There's so many aspects of that film that they're so good
Mhm.
Mhm.
that it is worth a watch. Like, you haven't seen it yet, you're talking about it now, it's worth going out and either purchasing it
Oh,
or
yeah.
streaming it or whatever.
This
Um,
episode comes with homework.
yeah, man,
Yeah,
for real, Coolie High
You've
is on
gotta go
mine.
get Coolie
listen,
High. You've gotta watch
Yeah,
Rear
and
you
that's
gotta
Window.
watch
the whole
real
thing, we should always be learning. Who is
yeah,
attaining? Who's attained? The person
100%.
who says they've attained, you need to run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We have to be growing at all stages and all ages, period. Oh, was
love
that a
that.
bar?
It
Yeah,
was. It
That was a
was.
bar
a
and a
bar.
half,
It
I
was a
think.
bar.
Okay,
I
so
like
my
it.
album is coming out next week. You need to cop.
Very good.
I couldn't even get that out, I'm laughing.
You're on your promotional tour right now. That's
Yeah,
what's
this is
happening. That's
it.
what
This
this
is
is
the
about. Yeah.
first
Come with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's the
We know
first
why you're in
I
the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad to be
Oh,
first,
Papa
you
Bear.
know?
So sad.
equally tricky here, Tia.
Okay, Chris, go ahead.
Equally tricky, Tia.
Drop it.
Okay?
Drop it.
Name the film everyone loves, but you hate.
There's a few. When
Okay.
the
I like
eyebrow
this.
goes up. Everyone loves I don't know if everyone loves it, but I was absolutely mad when I saw this. I didn't like Baby Driver. I could not stand it. I was so upset. I was like,
Because
"Is
were you mad because you expected more from Edgar Wright, or were you mad because everybody
I'm mad
loves
that it
Edgar
got
Wright so much?
made. I'm just
Okay.
I'm mad that it got made. I'm mad that there were other scripts in the pile, sir. You know, like
Uh,
and I couldn't stand it. It was a joke to me. It was
No.
over the top. It was I love a good push and zoom for drama, but it was just too hokey and, there's I like campy things, but that
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't know what that was, and I'm still mad about it, obviously.
Yeah, and one thing you said about
Yeah.
Baby Driver, there's not a lot of movies like it. So it's kinda I get what you're saying about that. The guy has he's like a music savant, and he's using that to okay.
It's just bad.
I did see Running Man,
The new
the
one.
new Edgar Wright
Okay.
film, and it's sort of getting mixed reviews too. I think a lot of Edgar Wright fans kinda want more from him,
Mhm.
but I thought it was good. It just
Okay.
wasn't great.
And see, that's another topic.
Mhm.
Can we make anything new? I mean,
Thank you.
I love nostalgia, but again, hold on, we need to go to the sociology of things.
Mhm,
Actually, this time period is still we're on the very edge of getting rid of my sensibility as far as Gen X. This is
mhm.
a business thing too. There's a recall in business that hopefully leads people to, you know, garner business.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, pretty soon you're gonna be seeing some of the 90 nostalgias over the next 5 to 10 years, so that it is a marketing and business technique. But I'm kinda getting tired of even seeing some of my nostalgia. I mean, especially as a creator, I wanna see something fresh and new. There's enough stories out there, and some things you just need to leave alone,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Leave
Yeah,
alone.
but Chris, did you see what she did there? I don't know, PB. I don't know if you picked that up either.
What?
Like, Tia's got skills, and she sometimes don't even know she got skills
Oh,
because we're talking about Running Man, and they rebooted that, and
Yeah.
and remember, Running Man is a Schwarzenegger movie,
Yeah.
and
that's
then
right.
she said there's a recall,
Oh,
Ah!
total.
It's a total recall.
Oh,
total recall.
Yeah.
It's a total
wait,
well
I'm
done
gonna say
again, sir.
something. That girl is good.
Yeah, that girl good. That girl good. Yeah,
She's
good and
terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, good and terrible.
Please don't
Again,
start on
quoting
that
Nick's
movie.
all-time favorite movie, Coming to America.
That's right. That's
No,
right.
that's how and why we get along so well.
That's right. Exactly. I thought it was a trash.
You ain't never met Martin Luther King. Okay,
That's
so
right.
Randy, I have a
I met
story.
Martin Luther the King.
No, you did not. Sorry, I can't stop.
Taste
Yeah.
the soup. Taste the soup.
Listen, I was in a bridal party and we were waiting to get announced at like, the party after. Why can't right? After
Yeah.
and someone says one Coming to America line, and we're all like getting into it and trying to outplay each other,
Yeah.
Yep.
calling us to get escorted into what it was crazy. Now,
Yeah. I mean, because there's
It's
so
so
many
quotable.
lines.
It's so quotable.
so many lines.
Listen. To this day, if there's an aha moment, I'm the one going. Heir. Heir.
I will call it Kit.
That's right.
We can't do this. We'll be
You
here
do that
for
perfectly,
another
by the way,
forever.
Nick. You do that perfectly, by the way, Nick. That is
I did grow up in a Jewish neighborhood.
Listen.
freaking
So-
on to that.
Eddie Doc is brilliant too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just heard.
Oh, I
just
haven't
heard,
seen it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Everybody's telling me. They're telling me to go watch it. I'll watch it this
Yeah,
weekend.
I'm on it
Same
too. I
here.
gotta watch that. I gotta watch Age of Disclosure too.
You've seen it, Papa?
No, I haven't, but it's on my list.
It's
Yeah.
good.
All right. We all
Good.
more homework. All right, Tia. Favorite cheat day meal.
I'm sorry?
Favorite cheat day meal.
Cheat day.
Mm-hmm.
That's every day for me.
I love pizza.
Ooh, what kind of pizza?
Margarita. I've cut out a lot of meat.
Mhm.
So it's all margarita, veggie for me.
Are you doing thin crust or deep dish? By the way,
No deep dish, no.
Deep. Oh.
No. I'm doing kind of like a thin crust or a regular like New York style, fold them up.
Big giant slice folded in your
The
hand.
jumbos are nice, but
Mm.
I'd like a regular pie. So
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
I got some
like
Lou
it.
Malnetti's in the oven right outside the studio.
Litos.
about that. That's legendary.
Litos.
Yeah.
No, Litos.
Litos.
Yes.
Mhm.
Come on now. Come back to the
You
DMV.
see the gulp? I was just like, and crabs too. So
Oh.
No. Okay.
Okay.
blue
Okay.
crabs, come on.
Yep.
There's no
Blue
denying.
crabs.
No
Yeah.
denying.
Nah.
Yeah.
This show is known for leaving everyone hungry
Yeah. I'm.
by the
I
end.
get it.
They start talking about this, and then it
You
becomes
keep
a
asking
thing.
that question. What do you
I know.
expect?
What do I expect? Tia, there are some things that Black people just don't do. It's just sort of universally understood. It's a stereotype, but
Yeah.
but it's one of those things that it becomes a stereotype because it's mostly true. So I'm just
Mostly.
wondering, what is the number one rule of cage diving with sharks?
You guys, all of you are CIA. All of you. Oh, wow. Yeah, and I'm told that. They're like, "Oh, where are you from?"
You're right. No. Where you from at?
You know what it is? It goes back to another film, and I know you're gonna know it. Jaws.
Yeah.
It was electrifying
Silver.
when I saw it, and I felt that the shark had a story too.
Yeah.
No, but
So you wanted to
seriously,
go check it out.
It was
Hungry, yeah.
hunger. But I loved the movie, and thus started my curiosity with sharks. Seriously.
And when you
And
cage
that
dove,
turned
what is the
that
number one thing you need to not do to avoid certain death?
put your hand out of the cage.
Okay.
There was a stipulation that I had. I
Uh,
right,
Yeah, but
I
how do you hold it, Papa Bear? How do you hold on and stay in the cage the right way? Your hand might
this
slip
is the
through
thing. Okay, let me break
your
it down.
foot might go
land
through the
in your
bottom.
shoes.
All right,
No,
listen,
no.
guys. Listen up.
I
Listen up.
don't have my scuba license, so the prerequisite was many things. Because of I saw Jaws, and I saw how the animal could literally topple the cage. I said, no, we're not doing that. My prerequisite was that the cage has to be on the side of a boat, and a pretty
Oh.
substantial boat too, right? Because you're locked in. I lived in South Africa for about a month, and I landed on a Wednesday. And that Saturday, myself and two other crazy flatmates went to Shark Alley to Gans
Wow.
Bay at 4:30 in the morning, and we cage dived. and, none of us had our scuba license, so that was also a prerequisite that we had to have, and they drop you in the cage. There was about 5 of us in the cage, and, they would slick it and put out the chum and everything else, and they would let us know from the crow's nest what was coming, and it's not guaranteed, like, they call up the shark and say, "Just come on in," you know what I mean? But they could say, "Hey, you have some bronzies coming in, you have all type
Huh.
of animals coming towards the cage," and you would hold your breath, and there were these, like, highlighter yellow handlebars, and you would hold on, and you would watch what comes in front of you, and that morning, some listen, a 18-footer came by
Whoa.
the name of April, 2,500 pounds, and I have never been so scared and exhilarated in my life. Her head was the size of the front of a car, and that was with her mouth closed,
Okay.
not
Okay.
open,
Yeah.
and it was the longest, probably 5 seconds of my life. It seems like she was in slow motion, and the distance between us was the cage, obviously,
Mm.
and maybe about 4 feet to see
Wow.
the
Mm.
huge animal. Just go right on by. See that? See what I'm doing right there?
Yep.
Yep. So right now, for those
That's what
listening,
she did.
Tia is like
To answer your
mimicking a
question,
shark
what
with
you
her hands.
don't do is put your hand out, but you stand in awe and you take in the moment.
I feel like people will be tempted to just like rub the side of the belly of the shark as it swims
Yeah,
by,
I mean,
just to
I'm
feel that
sure
shark fin.
maybe they were,
Then you
but
get
I was
snapped
just
on.
exactly. I was just like, it's stunning. It's beautiful, and it was actually very peaceful.
All right.
Very peaceful.
Shout out to cage
Minding the
diving
business, minding business. Very silent,
and
very
yeah,
humbling.
shout out to cage diving and shout out to you, Tia. You have officially cleared the set.
Hey,
It was
thank you very much.
amazing. Well done.
Yep. I
And
Ew.
love it. I love it.
we end every episode this way, but this is a special one. You may or may not know this, Tia, but not only you're a great gift to this show, but you are
Thank you.
our holiday Christmas present to the audience because this will air right at the holiday season, either right at Christmas or day after.
Great.
And you also are the last guest of the year that will publish in this calendar year. So
And wait, and Tia, just so you know, that was no accident.
no
Ah,
accident.
Okay.
no
Okay.
accident. Bringing
No
it on.
accident. And so bring us home after a year's worth of amazing guests and a year's worth of amazing conversations. We ended on one of the truly most fun and amazing conversations we've had all year. And I'd love for you to cap this whole year off, Tia, with what is making it to you. We'd love to hear that. Final one of the year.
Oh, no pressure, huh?
No
Not at
pressure.
all.
What does
Now
it
now
mean
you
to
set
make
her
it?
up like that.
Yeah.
What does it mean to
Wow,
make
to
it?
make it,
Hmm.
I'm honored first and foremost. Like you said, there aren't any mistakes, so I don't take it for granted. Making it to me is to continue to make work that heals, that uplifts, that liberates, someone, that gives them hope, that just doesn't entertain, that will allow them to see themselves, forgive themselves, dream again. That's the work that I'm committed to. Making it means I can bring my people with me too, you know? This experience of filmmaking and just life in general is communal. It's not an individual, kinda situation for me. So being able to bring my people with me, those people that, I've done incredible work with and those that I'll do in the future, that's success for me, and, making it is just continue to tell stories that I feel that I was called to do and to contribute to the filmmaking, aspect of legacy art because that's truly, truly what it is to me, that my work would outlive myself, that it's bigger than me, that, again, it transforms, it changes lives, that there's a sense of, integrity and freedom that you feel out of it, um, and a sense of ownership that you have in these stories. So I don't take any of that for granted, and that as a creator, that I'll have the autonomy to create the stories that I want. and continue to really build a global creative footprint. That's what making it is to me. Yeah.
Here, here, here. That
I
is
love it. I
fantastic
love
and
that. Yep.
a perfect answer to end this year and for the holiday season. Thank you to the audience. Thank you, Tia. All
Thank
that
you
is
for having me.
all you guys make this podcast possible. Can you tell the people where they can find you on social media, on the internet, where they can see your work, where they can support you, all the things?
Yeah. Okay,
Let the
so,
people know.
our website is, talentedsoul.com, and that's talented, talented, soul is spelled S as in Sam, O as in Oliver, L as in love, talentedsoul.com. And then on IG, you can find me at Ms. Tia Smith, MZ Tia Smith. Also, please follow the Heir film, that is, as I said, going through the film festival circuit. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. Tia Smith,
And
Facebook,
again, it's the Air,
that's right.
Heir.
Heir. Yeah,
That's
that's
right,
where we
and
are.
you heard it first from Tia. Go do likewise. Follow her on social media at Miss Tia Smith. That's MZ, not MS. And you can find her on her website at Talented Soul. Soul is SOL.com. So talentedsoul.com. And look out for her work. She has so much in store. We cannot wait
Right.
to see what you do. And we will definitely be front row seat on your journey. If you want to reach out to us, that's really easy. We are everywhere as well at underscore make it podcast. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you just search for the Make It Podcast and we'll come right up. As I mentioned at the top of the show on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like. On Apple and Spotify and Amazon and iHeart and all these places. Make sure that you rate and review 5 stars. That means a lot to us, helps with everything. So please don't forget to do it. Takes 10 seconds. So go do it right as this episode's over. And with that, I will hand it off to you, Nick. Happy holidays, sir. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Everybody, actually, and in the audience too, but certainly you, Nick, as well. Can you please leave
Yeah.
us with the credo?
Of course, this is a pleasure of mine at the end of every episode. Also, to say thank you again to Tia A. Smith for being with us today and providing her. And look, I've already talked about the insight, the advice, the recommendations, the Tia isms. But one of the things that I want to let you guys know that I was prepared for when I came onto this, I was actually looking at my wardrobe. I was like, what do I wear when Tia A. Smith is going to be on this episode? And I said I had to make sure that I was as colorful as she is.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want you to understand is that Tia often dresses in a very colorful manner, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that I wanted my outfit today in my red and in
I
my
see you.
gold and my blue and in my red and my white and my background. I wanted to make sure that I matched Tia A. Smith's spirit
Wow.
on this podcast. So I want everyone to understand that this is intentional because Tia walks through life with intention, and that intention is to be a blessing to
Mm,
all of those with whom she encounters. So I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being with us today.
thank you.
And with that, I have to say to our filmmaking friends, family, fans, and followers out there, be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Nick, Papa Bear, happy holidays. See you soon.
Happy holidays,
to
brother.
you.
Appreciate you.
Tia,
Thank
PB.
talk to you soon.
you so much for having me.
Yep.
It's been awesome.
Yeah. The pleasure's all ours. All right, everybody.
Yep.
Talk to you in 26.
All
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
Peace.